At the end of December 2024, I decided to go to my attic to find my old computer I used to use back in 2014, and this is it. Pretty good, don't you think? All I had to do was to connect a mouse and a keyboard and install some new audio drivers. I think my brother used it at some point and somehow managed to install Windows 10 on it. Which is a small miracle, but the real miracle is my old games still being here. I immediately grabbed both of my external hard drives from my current setup and copied all of my save files. I also installed some of my games on this machine that I thought it could run. In the process of exploring different games and save files, I started recording, and I will show you some of the more interesting moments from the videos. Sorry for the crappy audio, because at the start I was using a software called Ocam, since I thought it would be able to run it, but it didn't catch my mic too well. And it also used too much processing power, which resulted in major FPS drops. So later on I just switched to recording with my phone. I decided to start with Minecraft. Of course, this is some unofficial launcher that might not be even obtainable now. And after successfully logging in, I was greeted with a list of different worlds. Most of them were not really that interesting, since they were quite empty, but few of them actually caught my attention. I think every single of these worlds are in creative, yeah. So SR was supposed to be a Slenderman map. There are supposed to be some kind of rules for this. Play the game when it's night, find 8 papers, and I'm supposed to take this torch that's over here. And it has a really poor grammar. So I have no idea what I was doing here, but I don't know, was this supposed to spawn like Enderman or something? Like, none of these are working. And we are running the game at 10 FPS because I'm recording. Jesus. It looks like I was already trying to make my own maps. It might not seem like much, but I guess it somehow evolved into making videos and mods. Other worlds were pretty random, with just a handful of structures and changes. And then I found these two. So this one was my survival attempt. But when I was little, I was afraid of what lurks in the darkness and behind corners, so I got some cheats and gave myself the best tools and armor, and also built this house. The ladder is there because, if I'm not mistaken, zombies in this version could break doors. Yeah, so this is why I was in survival. Because in creative you cannot throw ender pearls yet. And I have my personal guard here. That's good. I just noticed that. I see. Yeah, sure. Is something up there? And wait, what is it? This is the jungle wood, right? Yeah. So these are just jungle trees. Well, I mean, it's impossible to miss my house, but Moving on to the second world, it must have used the amplified terrain option, or maybe it just generated weird. By the way, you can see missing flat chunks, bizarrely tall mountains, and this little village stuck in all the chaos. I'll share the seeds for both of these worlds since they are pretty unique, but they might only work properly in version 1.5.2 of Minecraft. Sometimes I'm not even sure if my first game I ever played was Gothic or Oblivion, but Oblivion is still here, with the original save files from when I was only 7 years old, and I loved it. I played as a Dark Elf archer with my own custom class, and I also didn't level up since the leveling system was so unbalanced. So I think I ended up only leveling up to level 3. The last thing I did in the main quest was to bring Martin the mysterious Xarxes, but somewhere in the process I even managed to kill Lucien LeChance. That's why I'm wearing his robe right now. And I think I might have killed the Grey Prince, so that had to be the reason of Lucian's visit. I'm not gonna lie, but when I first booted it up after more than 10 years, it made me tear up a bit. Not even kidding. Before we test newer games on this machine, there's one more game I had to try. Flatout 2, one of the best racing games to ever exist with the iconic rock soundtrack, including legends like Audioslave, Rob Zombie, or even Nickelback. This game was quite unique, thanks to its ragdoll system of the drivers. To keep this game rated for teens, they just referred to the drivers as dummies, even though they were screaming in agony every time you crashed. I think at this point I have tried everything there was, so it was time to test the limits of this old machine by trying out different games. I started off by installing Morrowind to get that nostalgic vibe, and how is this even possible? It looks so much better on this monitor, with this square aspect ratio than my full HD monitor. It's a real mystery to me. Hell, even just using the old monitor is really pleasing to the eyes. As you might have guessed, Morrowind plays smoothly and sells its alien atmosphere even more. Let's try something a bit more advanced. Skyrim, all-time favorite from Master Todd. And to my surprise, on the lowest settings it runs on 15 FPS outside, and in dungeons it's solid 30. It's quite playable actually, and I always thought the special edition must have added some vegetation changes. But playing this on the old computer now made me realize that I had the grass details set to minimum. Funnily enough, on this computer it looked pretty good. But on the full HD one, it's awful to use these settings without the grass. I got through the intro and wandered around for a bit, and it's great. I only ran into some weird bug with invisible spider webs, but I managed to fix that by downloading the ENB plugin, if I remember correctly. I felt pretty confident about the power of this computer and tried Dark Souls 1 and 2. In the first game I didn't get past the intro cinematic and had to manually crash the game, but in the second game I managed to get to the main town, Majula. Since the game is really about good timing and rolling, playing this on 15 FPS was impossible. So that's the limit of this old guy. I had one more game to try, and it was just an incredible experience. GTA Vice City, the 10th anniversary edition. Driving my wild Infernus down the streets of Vice City with the sun setting down, and the trails filter making it feel even more nostalgic. This video was a bit different from what I usually do, but it was really fun to make. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.